Yeah, so we are live. Hello, sir. We welcome you, and we are live now on this session. Ahmedabad Book Club, in association with the Karma Foundation, brings to all the viewers an interesting conversation with the author Imtiaz Anis on his book that we will be talking about. He would be giving us the insight of his book. So, before we start with the book talk, let me just give you a brief introduction of who he is actually. And I am so excited that I'm sitting in front of an Olympian, someone who has represented India once, twice you have represented in Olympics, and that too in a game which is so rare in our country. So we have someone who is the first civilian to represent India at the Asian Games and has also won a bronze, and also the first Indian to compete in Olympic 3-day event when he represented India at Sydney 2000 Olympics. So this is just the starting of your achievements that I have got, because there is a list that goes on and on. And when I type your name, I had this list of your achievements. So this is the first feather in your cap that you have made our country proud. And you have recently released that your book Riding Free, a story about your childhood dream of representing India at the Olympic Games. And you also talk about the gap between the impossible and the possible, of how you achieved your dreams. And today we are here to talk about your book. So, apart from an author, you're an Olympian, you're an equestrian, an author, a trainer, a competitor, a qualified level 2 instructor, and a coach also. And you are also an educator. So, we have with us none other than the author Imtiaz Anis, who knows a thing or two about the equine world. He was born in India and has studied in Australia, and he lives in the United States now. And he's now based in India and he started his own equestrian training facility, Seahorse Equestrian. So why not to listen from the mouth of the horse itself? So we have with us, so the virtual floor is yours, sir. And as I described about you, to tell our viewers more about you, like how you are as a person, or you are the same, the famous Imtiaz Anis, or somewhat different when it comes to a personal thing. Floor is yours, sir. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this very elaborate introduction. I don't need it at all. I'm still not famous. I'm still just Imtiaz Anis. And to
You
most
are
of my
famous.
no, no. And I love what I do. So I'm very lucky that I am blessed in my life that I'm actually living. I've lived my dream to the fullest, and even now, that's how I live. So that's what my book was about. So that's what I wanted to tell people. It's about living your dream and following your passion. That's what's so important. My book is equestrian because I'm equestrian and my horses, but it applies to anybody and everybody. Please tell them to get out of that comfort zone and do what you really want to do. Because if you really love doing what you do, you never have to work a day in your life because you love it. So for me, I love to ride and I'm getting paid to ride horses. So it's all possible if you have that dream.
Okay, and so also you started riding at this very early age of 4. When you were 4 years old, you started riding, right? So how did that happen? Like since childhood, even your parents are also riders. They also ride, right? I read somewhere about your
Yes.
family and all. So it was inherited in the genes, or you decided that no, I should do it as a profession.
No,
Was it genetic
my
or something?
grandfather and my mother, they used to all ride. We're all animal lovers, we're all horse lovers, but not professional and not competitive. But they love the sport. So I was exposed to it at a very young age. At the age of 4 and 5, I was taken to the riding club and I was introduced to horses. And I just had this amazing bond with horses. Ever since I was little, I was absolutely fearless. I could walk into the stables and I would talk to them about everything, about my life, about my how I hated school, or what, if there was a bad teacher, or if my mother scolded me, I would go to my horse and talk to him. He was like my best friend. It's funny you say that because when I won my first competition at 6, one of the interviewers said, "So how did it feel?" And I said, "Well, it didn't matter because I was doing something with my best friend." That's how I felt. For me, it was just me and my best friend. I mean, I'm doing something with my horse. I don't really care about winning or losing. The fact that I could do something with him, that was more than enough for me.
Wow. So when you have said that you used to talk to your horses, it reminds me of the same thing like Harry Potter used to talk to snakes. So it being a Potterhead, we the Gen Zs, we love Harry Potter and all that. So that's,
Yes.
and also sir, I read somewhere that there was this famous horse of yours. His name was Rakesh, right? So just tell us
Rajesh.
about that. Rajesh, yeah, I'm
Rajesh.
so sorry.
Rajesh. He was a
Pardon.
very
Yeah.
special horse. He was a beautiful gray horse, very strong. And everybody in my family had thrown off. And when I was only about 5 years old, I got the opportunity to ride him. and he and me just got along like this. He never ever did anything wrong when I sat on him. But I think it was because I spent so much time in his stable talking to him and being with him. He also thought I was one of him. I was his friend. So we just looked. He looked after me, and I looked after him, and it was an amazing, amazing bond we had. We
Yeah.
just nothing. Every competition we went to, every race we went to, we won. It was just nothing because it was so easy, and we had so much fun together because it was just him and me. It's a bit like when you're a kid and at 18, the first time you drive a car, you're so excited. You got a car, you can go anywhere, or a
Yes.
motorbike. You see the whole world. You don't go anywhere. So for me, at that young age, when I was sitting on Rajesh, I felt like I could go anywhere I wanted. As fast as I wanted. Because otherwise, when you're a kid, you're already being told what not to do. Don't do this, don't do that. Your mother, eat your vegetables, do your homework, go to sleep early. 101 instructions are there, like every child. So when I wrote Rajesh, I had no instructions. It was just free. So that freedom was just unbelievable. Even till today, I remember it.
So till today you're associated with the same horse. You have him after
No,
winning so many
Rajesh, no, 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 no.
competitions with him.
No, no. Lots of horses I had. Yeah, horses' lifespan is not that long, so I've had many, many
Yeah.
wonderful horses, and that's what the book is also about. Somebody asked me the other day, how did you remember everything? Because it's a lot of you got to remember so many small
Right.
details, and for me, it was the horses. So once I remembered the horse, everything, all the stories to that horse came alive.
Wow, sir. So this is like having such beautiful bond. Like it happened in Hathi Mera Saathi with Rajesh. Khanna had a bond with elephant. You had with horses. I think a movie
Yes,
should have been there on you and your horses. It would be
yes.
great to watch.
One day, one
So
day.
apart from that, yeah, sure, sir. One day. So apart from that, sir, riding was a part of you as a child. You grew up with that. So again, how did Olympics happen? Like Olympic is something which is the greatest game ever, right?
Yes,
So how
yes.
did you started from riding horses to going to Olympics? How did that
So
happen?
I think
Yes, sir.
you have to read the book. No, no.
I
It's all
have.
in the book. I agree. But the thing is that this is a good point that I like to bring out to even your viewers is that it's all about finding good mentors. And I had a
Yeah.
wonderful coach and mentor. And what's amazing, Aditi, that I had this lady who was English and she was posted in India when I was 11 years old, and she took me to the Olympics at 30. So for 20 years, I trained with the same person without any exchange of money or anything. So I was very
Wow.
lucky to have someone like that in my life. So she was not only a coach, but she was also a mentor. She's someone I looked up to. She was extremely well traveled, extremely well read. So she was so talented in so many ways. I was really fortunate that she came into my life at such a young age. And that's what, when I give my talks to kids also, it's all about, I keep telling them, that it's really important to find mentors because family is still biased and also too familiar. So you need to find people a
Yeah.
little bit outside, maybe extended family, but even people in different professions. It doesn't matter who it is, just people that you look up to and try and spend some time with them because the amount you can learn from them is more than any book can teach you.
Yeah. So, sir, like you were so fortunate enough to get a coach like her, that too
Yes.
not from India, from different country. So you just got good people at good places and good time, and then the dots were connected, and then it's a journey.
Throughout my life, and that's what this book is about. That's what I want to tell people, but it's for everyone. If your goal is so true and it's from the heart and you really want something, the universe does provide. These people came into my lives who I didn't even know. Diana was okay, one of them, which is quite a major part. But even when I went to Australia, I didn't know anybody. I had no friends. I had no and when you read the book, you'll see it's just amazing how many people came in and just kept helping me. Whenever I was in trouble, I was like, oh my God, I'm in a crossroad. I don't know what to do. Somebody would come who I never knew before and say, I think this is the way, and help me. So whenever there's a wall, literally there was somebody else who pushed me and took me over the wall. Then again, I went running, to go to the next. Again, there was a barrier or there was some obstruction. Again, somebody came into my life who said, come on, we can do it together, and pushed me to the next level. It was just unbelievable how many people actually made this dream their dream. And I think the reason was also because they saw the passion in me. They saw how much I wanted it, and that it was true. I wasn't doing it because I wanted to be famous. I wasn't doing it because I wanted more money. I wasn't doing it to please somebody else. I just wanted to do it for myself. So that was really important.
Wow. So, but again, so you were very much like focused, na? Since the age of 4, you were very much focused. Apart from being riding, being there in your genes, you were super focused. But nowadays,
Yes.
what happens with youngsters like us? our energies are a bit scattered here and there. We are not that much focused. So again, you'll have
Yes.
to tell us your little success mantra, that what did you stick to all these years to become this
No, I
huge
think the first thing I
successful
always tell,
story that you have. Yes.
Aditi, I always tell people that there's so much talent. Everybody's got talent. All your kids, you look at your
Yeah.
in your school, in your college, there'll be a lot of talented people. But without the hard work, talent has no reason. So it's important
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
have the discipline. So I think the number one thing with the youngsters lose out today is discipline. We were very disciplined as children. Even till today, I'm over 50 years old and I'm still very disciplined. I'm up at 5:30 every morning. I'm riding my horses at 6 o'clock sharp. Breakfast is at a specific time. Yes, you have your off days, you have your fun days, you have your holidays. But as a general life, you have to be disciplined in order to achieve whatever you want to achieve. I'm not saying sport. Today it could be in business. Today, tomorrow it could be in art. Today, it could be in being in culinary. Whatever you like to do, but you need to be disciplined. So that is one of the
Wow.
mantras. Like as you said, one of the things is important to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
disciplined. Even like you look at an intern. When you go for a meeting, if the meeting is at 6 o'clock, I tell my students, if you come at 6 o'clock, you're late. You should be there 10 to 6 if you're meeting at 6 o'clock with the right clothes, right file, right paperwork. People notice that. People see, look at this guy, he's made that little effort. They may not say it at that time, but when there's a time to do something, they will select you or somebody else because you were always on time, you were correct, you were polite. So it's all that attitude and all this that makes more important than actually what you learn in school. It's the other side that is very, very important, where the mentors and coaches come in.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you particularly believes in discipline, right? You have to proper disciplined punctual person to achieve anything. So, but sir, that is again difficult for us because we have this very less attention span with this social media and
Yes,
everything.
yes,
We cannot stay focused on something
yes.
for more than even like few seconds. We are not concentrated. So, apart from that, I have like a question that equestrian is something which is associated with royalty, right? People from royal family used to play this, and even today also, this game is not played by many of us. Even in my college, also half of the population they don't even know the name of the sport, right?
Yes.
So that is the scenario. So like how did you got into it? I mean, you got it because your family were there. So you think that people, the youngsters nowadays, can be a part of the sport because it is very
Yes,
less known
no,
and yeah,
definitely.
and quite
Because
quite costly. Yeah.
yes, because in my time, I was the only one. It was all army. So I was only one civilian with the whole army. Today, there are over hundreds and hundreds of civilians. The sport has grown a lot. There are a couple of things which are really advantageous to us. One is it's a sport where animal is involved. So it teaches them how to
Yeah.
care, how to look after. Any other sport, once the sport is over, like in cricket or in badminton or in tennis, you put your racket in a bag and it's over. Finished. The game is over, right? Till the next game. Here, however good you go or however bad you go, you have to still come back and feed it, look after it, brush it, groom it. So it builds character, makes the children to think that it's not only about them, they've got an animal to look after as well. So the sport can teach you a lot more than actually competing and winning. The other thing is that it's the only sport where men and women compete at power because there's no strength involved, there's no stamina involved. So even for children who are not sporty but want to be associated with sport, this would be a great sport because you don't need strength. You don't have to be the fastest runner. You don't have to kick the football the hardest. You don't have to be tough. You don't have to ruffle. You got to be calm and composed. It's a bit like playing an instrument or a music instrument. So it's a beautiful sport,
Yeah.
and now it has grown in the two-tier cities. So places like Chandigarh, Pune, even all these smaller towns, even all over India, have got riding clubs. So that it's now the sport will grow, and it's not only for royals. Even the normal schools, children or normal people can go and get used to this and enjoy this sport.
Yeah, wow, sir. Thank you for this insight. And so again, I have this since you have been to Olympics, and I'm so excited about it. So I have a question related to that. So how was
Yeah.
your reaction when you got to know that you would be representing our country in the Commonwealth Games? So what was your state of mind?
At the Olympics, yeah, it was surreal. Even now, I get goosebumps even talking about it because that's something you dream of. Every sports person dreams about it all their life. And as you know, Aditi, just rightfully that you said, it's only a few people that can get it. You can still be the best. You can still be national champion. You can still have one competition. To actually go to the Olympics, a lot of things have to be right. Right time, right place, right training, right fitness, right qualification. There are too many rights that have to happen. So you need a bit of luck. So I was very, very, I mean, it just changed my whole life. I was so excited when you actually, it's a proud moment, for to actually wear that blazer. Ever since I was a child, I was only 5, 6 years. I used to wear my dad's blazer and think it was the India blazer, that blue blazer. I used to wear it and think, one day I'll be wearing it with the India blazer. And my parents would say, like, really, which sport? I'm like, I didn't know which sport also. I said, some sport. I know I'm going to do it in some sport. Which one, I don't know, but I'm definitely going to represent India in some sport or the other. Because I was so determined to go to the Olympics.
So you were crystal clear since childhood that I'm going to go to the Olympics with this blazer on and I'm going to represent our country. Yes. And then the entire universe conspired, and then the famous dialogue from the movie comes out that everything conspired in a dream come to the bigger picture.
Yes.
And so then how did this book happen? Like, did you knew that you will write something about it, or you were an author since childhood, or there was an epiphany?
No. This was something much later. Once I achieved all this, and I was fortunate enough to go to the Olympic Games, and then afterwards I was the first Indian to go to the World Championship. And then I realized there are a lot of people out there who have it in them to do this excellence. But they're scared. The biggest problem we have with our generation today, and I'm sure it's your generation too, is they're scared of failure. So they don't try. That is the biggest thing. So one thing is, of course, they're impatient because they want everything now. But the second thing is they don't want to try it because they think, what if we fail? We lose time. No. You don't worry about those sort of things in life. You never worry, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough resources. So that was the reason I wrote this book, to show that I didn't have any of that. But it was something that I wanted, and you have to push yourself and everything will come together. So that was the real reason for reaching out to more people to really read this book. It's a very easy read. The beauty of this book is that even an 8-year-old can read it, and parents have also read the book. It's one of the few books that, are just simple English. It's not high words. It doesn't get complicated. It's just about life stories that I went through to say, even when I was at the lowest, how people came, how things happened, and you can still achieve what you want to achieve. So that is really, really the crux of this whole writing of the book.
Wow, sir. So like your book is an easy read for everyone, for people from age group of different age groups, right?
Yes.
And so also I saw some of your interviews. I mean, you have done interviews with everyone. I mean, everyone has done interviews with you. So I was shortened of the questions that what should I ask him new? I mean, everyone has asked him every sort of question.
That's true.
So like I have come up with this question that since you have written a book and all that, so there is also called an author or writer's block. Like when you write something now, so you get bored of it after some time, and then there is a block. So did you have that, like when you were writing the book? Did you face the same like other authors?
No. Because for me, it was something that was so much. I was so passionate about it that when you read this book, you'll see it straight from the heart. I didn't make any fairy tales about it. There's no romance about it. There's no running around. There's no dream. It's all truth, and it is just how I felt it, how I thought about it. I wrote it because I think that was really important. I wanted my readers to really see how much the passion was, because that's what I want to bring out of the kids today, is that follow that passion, because you got to have that to achieve what you want. You can't get up and say now, oh, it's too hot, it's this pandemic, I can't go, it's too far, I don't have a car, there's no air conditioning, there's no light, there's no bus, the places, I don't like this. No, these things are all excuses. Get up, be happy, and keep moving. We are alive. We have got so much to give. You only live once. Make the most of it.
So like you have the energy of the whole country. You have the energy of the whole nation, and it's so contagious that I can feel some of the radiations over here. I'll tell you that. And like since like you have a book with you, I mean you have your book right with you, so you'll have to read your favorite lines, like some favorite lines for the viewers and for us.
Oh my God, I haven't looked through it. I'm going to waste time finding the favorite lines.
No, sir, any not like just saying favorite line. You can read any of the lines. It would be great, sir.
Well, I'll read the last paragraph of the book. Yeah. I believe
very clever.
I believe you also need a stubborn streak in your character that will simply not let you back down or give up easily. There is no reason behind why I refused to pack up and go home when I learned I had not even made the shortlist for the Olympic Games. I had kept the flame of self-belief alive too long to let it be extinguished so quickly or by anyone. To anyone who wants to reach for the stars, I would say, believe in yourself, keep the fire burning, work hard, and make it happen. So that is the
Wow.
motto of the whole book. It's about making it happen. And you just don't give up. When you look at this book, you'll see, Aditi, I've had more failures than successes. The book has more failures also, but it's about how you overcome these failures in order to achieve what you want to. You don't achieve anything just normally, then everyone would be achieving it, right? It's anything in life, whatever you want to do, it doesn't matter whether it's sport, everything in life. Or, the one thing I want to tell you, most successful people, they have something in common. And the things that they have in common is what we want to inherit: the discipline, the resilience,
Yes.
the little bit of stubbornness, the punctuality. These are characteristics that we have to instill in our children today, so that that's what separates them from the rest.
Wow. And so also, when we look at your book, the cover page and the title is very interesting. So there was some story behind it, or you came up with that like randomly, the name and the cover.
No, the cover
Yeah.
was quite interesting because actually the reason I chose this cover specially is because the horse. So this is the horse that is actually owned by one of my main sponsors. So a gentleman called Mr. Dungy Boy. Really, I was only young, and he just, was supporting me all the time. Wherever I needed, he would support me. And this is his horse. So I wanted the book to have some connection with him. So therefore, he's a lovely, lovely, very beautiful horse. So that was the reason. Riding Free, it's a title that, even the publisher HarperCollins and we discussed it, and the idea was, riding free, because it was from the heart. It was something that we just did. I did because I just felt the passion. So it's not free as in free, no money free. It's about free as in freedom. It gave you that freedom to say, I can ride. I'm now above. I'm away from the day-to-day chores or things like that. So that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Wow, sir. So this was the story behind the cover and the title. And
Yes.
also when we talk about the book, I also want to ask you something that like normal authors, they have a problem finding publishing house and a publishers to
Yes.
publish their book. So you also face the same, or you got it in an easy way, like because you were
No,
an
I was.
Olympian. Was
No, no, not
it?
because I'm Olympian. I think it was also just like how you said, what I talked too fast. So once I spoke to the publisher and I sold him the book, even before I'd finished, he said, "Done, we're doing it." He said, I cannot not do it.
Wow.
The person is so passionate about what he wants to do, what he's done, how he's lived
Yeah.
his life. He said, we are definitely doing it. So I was very, very lucky again, very lucky. He just heard my story. He didn't say a word. He just said, "Oh my God, I haven't even a chance to say a word." He said, "I just love it. Let's do it." So that's how it happened.
So basically, you convinced him with your communication skills, apart from writing skills.
Yes,
You convinced him.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
And sir, also, please tell us the genre of your book, like the genre in which you have written the book. So what is it? Is it a happy or mix, or what is it? The book
Well,
genre
it's all.
of
It's
yours.
all. It's the genre is an autobiography, of course, but it's all
Yeah, yeah.
kinds. It takes you through all highs and lows. There's some you'll be laughing a little bit. Some moments you'll be saying, "Oh my God, is he going to make it? Is he not?" Because there were times when I was on the short list, and then the last minute the Indians, I was dropped from the team. Then I
Yeah.
was brought back. So it's a little bit of excitement as well. But they're all true. It's just exactly what happens. One of my biggest things was like in 1994. I was at the Asian Games, and I had got
Yes.
selected. I traveled the whole country, everything, and last minute, just before leaving, they dropped me and they said, "No, you can't go, only army will go." So it was like, oh my God. So I was just crushed, totally crushed. I was like, this is not for me. I just have to end. But again, the family, the support, the positive people around me just said, "No, you got to keep on going. You got to keep on going." And so I kept going, and then in 98 again I got selected to go to the Asian Games, being the first civilian
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
So I could still do it. So it's about the positive energy that you have around you as well. You got to keep positive people around you to help you.
Wow. So like since you have written this book, any other book you are planning to write, any other project in the pipeline, or this is only the book you have written?
No, no, this is the only book
Yeah.
right now. I think the next book would be, if I have to write a book, would be more about how to help people more. Now that I've written about my journey, it's about the general journey, what people can overcome when they're hitting these barriers and how to overcome those barriers. Because I think people need help. So I think I always tell people I would love to be a mentor. If I can't, the book will reach more people through my mentorship. And that's what I would love to do.
Okay. And so how your life has been after Olympics and now being a coach. So like what is the difference between both of it? And
Well,
or is your life is same? Like what has changed?
Yes, actually it's similar. The only thing that you're not competing now. Now at this age, I'm not competing anymore. But the beauty of I'm lucky in my sport, not like most other sports. I can still ride every day. So I just love it. I can still train horses. I'm still schooling my kids' horses because in our sport, age is not a factor at all. Most of the people in the Olympics are
Yeah.
30, 40. This year, there was a 60-year-old man who went to the Olympics from Australia and won a medal. So we are not like tennis or cricket or swimming where you have a lifespan. After 30, 35, you're already getting less and less, and then you have to retire. And even if you become a coach of a hockey or you can become a coach for band, you can only on the sidelines. Very rarely can you play because the youngsters are faster and quicker. For me, I'm a little bit of an advantage with my sport that I can still do it at that same level because it's about that timing and having the feeling with regard to when we ride. So luckily that jump wasn't too much. I love being a coach. I love helping students. I love teaching, what I've learned, the experiences that I've had. I've had wonderful coaches throughout my life, and all that input and knowledge, I just love to give back. So I love coaching. I can coach all day.
Wow. So you can coach all day. You're full of energy coaching people all the time.
Yes.
So, sir, yeah. So, sir, like, since your book is an autobiography, so any favorite incidents from the book that you would like to share? Your one of the favorite incidents that you have written in the book that you really
No, I
want to
think
share that can motivate the youngsters. Yeah.
well, I think one of the couple of things that can motivate the young. One is the thing of course, which I just mentioned, the Asian game when I failed and come back. So it can motivate them that even when you can have a failure as big as that, you can still overcome it. It's all about having the positive energy. The other big thing which I thought is at the last stage of the Olympics, when I was trying to get in, there were lots of barriers and lots of times where it was an absolute no. I mean, you got to read the book to say there is no way. Every door had closed, but I never gave up. I still believe that I was going to ride the Olympic Games. In fact, the opening ceremony already had taken place, and I was not even there at the venue because they had said no to me. But I still believed that I was going to ride, and then how that door opened and I was able to ride. So that's
So
a
you
little bit of a
basically
special.
manifested, nah, you basically manifested it. I mean, with
Yes.
all your positivity, you manifested it,
Yes.
right? So that
Yes.
is the thing. And so also, the lowest point in your life was when you were selected and then they said no to you, right? So
Yes.
that is the lowest thing that you mentioned in the book.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so also, apart from that, like, how would you describe a bestseller in your words? I mean, your book, so many people have read. So what, according to you, should be a bestseller? So what is the definition of a bestseller according to you?
Yeah, I think bestseller is a very personal thing. I mean, it's about, today I'll be honest, Aditi, it's a bit about marketing as well. How much money, how much you're putting into your marketing, who are the who's who, you need celebrities, all that. That's not the route I went. I wanted to go more to the schools. I want to go to colleges. I want to go to the younger generation. I want to go to parents to explain to their kids how to live their dream and passion. Even the book like HarperCollins really worked with me on reducing the price of the book. Because of that, we want to make it a very economical price, just so that many people, even when we talked about should it be a hard copy, a hard copy, or should it be a soft, paperback. I was very, of course, like every author, they always want a hard copy. But he said, if you get a paperback, we can reduce the price further and we can get it out to more people. So, it's not a money making exercise. The exercise was to get to more people to read about what it is to really get out of your comfort zone.
Wow. Okay, so you just basically focus on the young people who are in school and colleges so that they can learn from the real life
Yes,
incidences that you have described in the
exactly.
book, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so also, like, since you have written a book, so you must be into readings because people who write, they read a lot. Okay. So do tell us, like, any of your favorite authors that you really get inspired by or you read them a lot. Any favorite book of yours? Yeah.
I'm a
There
bit of a
must be a
sports
lot.
person. I play a lot of sports. So for me, I think the Andre Agassi book called Open would be one of my favorite books, because it really tells you what all these athletes go through. I really felt, it's not tough. When we only look at the papers, we look on the TV and you see, oh my God, you look at Virat Kohli and he's in all the ads and all the paper. But on a day-to-day basis, what is he going through? What are the stresses? What are the pressure? Every time he goes on that pitch, millions of people, billion is looking at him with pressure. Is he going to perform? Is he not going to perform? Is he going to hit a sixer? Is he going to hit a century? So what a burden he's carrying. We don't realize that. We only think about it, but poor fellow, that's what he's going through on a daily basis. So the same thing with Andre Agassi, who was one of the famous tennis players. He explained that in that book. So for me, that was one of my most beautiful books because it really related to me a lot.
So like you totally love, you had bias towards sports books, right? Because
Yes,
that you are relatable to, you can relate to them.
yes.
And so also when you talked about Virat Kohli and the pressure thing, so you also represented our country in this Olympics. So what was your like? What did you feel when the entire country was looking upon you? that you would make us proud.
Oh,
So, like, what was your
absolutely.
mental condition at that
Which,
time?
yes,
Yeah.
yes. Even now, as I said again, every time you say that, I get a little bit of a goosebump going through me, and it's quite
Goosebumps. Yeah, yeah.
amazing because it's something, of course, we dream about, but it still doesn't make it easier. It's extremely nerve wracking, and when you see that flag flying, it's so powerful because that flag is flying because of you, and in my sport even more because there's no Indian. I was the only Indian, so when that flag is flying, oh my God, I have to do justice to it. First, you have respect for it. Then every time you see it, you say, look at the amount of millions of people you're representing. But that's what we did this for. So it's all about, just staying in the moment, taking a lot of deep breaths and just saying, you've practiced enough, you've trained enough, you worked hard enough. This is it. Now just go there and relax. That's all you can do. And stay focused as a thing. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's putting. One of my mentors told me this at the end. It's a life lesson that life is uncomfortable. Everything in life. So try and put yourself in uncomfortable situations and make yourself comfortable in them, so that you get better. Because those who are more comfortable in an uncomfortable situation will do better in life. Because life is uncomfortable. It throws you all kinds of things. You say you don't like to talk to people. Suddenly you're in a room with 10 people and you have to talk. You keep quiet. No, you're not going to succeed. So then on a daily basis, try and go speak with 2 people, then 3 people, then expand gradually. So there's a process with everything we do. So you can overcome these things. All these things that are in our mind, they're only in our mind. So anything that the young have or people have today, I always tell them, find what's good, what you're not comfortable with, put yourself in those situations and deal with it slowly and steadily and get over it. Because over time, you will overcome it.
Wow. So, like, whatever you said, it's very motivational, but yet again very difficult to do, because it
Yes.
requires a lot of self-evaluation, and you need to talk to
Yes.
yourself, which we don't do. We talk to people online. We don't talk to ourselves. That's what the thing that we don't do. So
Right.
basically, you are like, don't like, just talk the talk. You need to walk the walk before to achieve
Absolutely.
anything. Yeah, because
Exactly.
like I am a college student, and whenever I have exam, I'm so tense. It's just a 30 marks paper, but I'm so tensed. And then you are there who represented the whole country, but still you were calm. So again, here training comes into the picture, like the
Yes.
Olympic trainings that you people go through. So do tell us about that. How did that help you to build such a mental aura to be prepared for
No,
such a
because
game?
all the qualifying events, there are many qualifying events, there are many competitions happen. The other thing which is not mentioned, you want to mention something a little bit different, but most people don't know our sport is very dangerous also. So there are lots of deaths
Yeah.
that take place. So in the Olympic Games, no sport that you actually do that you die. Very few. In equestrian, you can actually die also because that speed of those horses galloping on those jumps, you can either have a trip or fall and you can break. People have broken their backs, people have broken their necks, people have broken their collarbone, all kinds of things. So we have that stress as well. It's not only one is competing, but am I going to be alive? Am I going to be not? I hope I'm not going to fall and injure myself also. So that stress is even more. So the only way you're going to do it is that in these preparations is to get as much as competition exposure as you can, get as much international exposure as you can. So that is really important. That's where even Indian athletes we lose out on because we don't have enough exposure. There's 1 or 2 events in the year, maximum 4 events in the year. There is an event every weekend. So you can look at 52 weeks, 52 events every year. While here you're talking about 4 and 5. They're not even in the same ballpark.
Yes, sir. Sorry. Yeah. So can you see me right now? Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So apologies for that. Yeah, I
No,
just
no.
got lost in between. No, sorry. So you were saying something. Yeah, you can just carry on.
No, so I'm talking about the competition side. When you're saying it's on the preparation, it's about getting in, doing as many competitions as you can. Like that's where Indian athletes lose out on because internationally there are many, many competitions. Like we have a competition nearly every weekend. So that's 52 events. While in India there will be 4 or 5. It's not in the same ballpark, the amount of competitions there are. So it's about getting as much experience. So if you're nervous about the test, you said you just had an exam, even if it's a 30-mark exam, you're nervous. Do more of them. Do practice ones. So what? You just practice yourself more and more. So you get so used to it and you just say, go, okay, I've done so many of them. It's easy. I'll just go and do another one. Yes, it may count. People have this in the mind. Like even my son, he's in the 10th standard. It's board exam, board exam. No, I tell him it's like any other exam. Don't worry about it. So what if it's a board exam? That they put a name to it. For you, it's a normal test. Go there, do your test, and come out. I don't put any pressure on it because it's we as parents. You got to study hard your board exam. You get into better college. What will happen? There'll be no selection. You won't get scholarship. No, these are all things that we are putting into their mind. It's not going to change him. He's not going to study harder because of that. In fact, it's going to stress him out more, and he'll make more mistakes. You have to take it back and say, do your best, work hard. Don't be. You have to still work, but don't put all the other pressures in. It will happen.
Wow. And so I just talked about mental stress. In this Olympics that we had this year, right? So Simone Biles, one of the, like, she's number one now worldwide, number one gymnastic.
Yes.
She quitted in the finals, okay, and she gave importance to the mental stress. So, like, do you want to say something about that? That how, apart from physical strength, mental strength is very important in the game, and how one should prioritize it. Did you want to share something about that?
Absolutely. Mental strength is even more important. For me, I was always a very fit
Yeah.
person because that's who I was, even till today. But when you compete, when I used to finish my competition, I would be so tired in my brain because there's so much stress, so much you have to think about the course, the minute markers, your horse, the management. Make sure you don't forget this, don't forget that. So there's so much to think about when you're competing, just like when you're competing at a level. So again, it's about training with these kids. I put them under pressure in a controlled manner every day. So you have to know which student you can push at. It's interesting you say this. So I was in Australia and I was teaching the junior team of Australia, and I was their coach. And there was two girls I was training. So one girl, they were in the same competition, and I warmed up one girl differently and the other girl differently. So the parent came to me and they said, you warmed up this girl 10 minutes and this girl you warmed up for 30 minutes and you did different jumps. What was the reason? I said, they're two different girls. One can take pressure in the warm up, one cannot take pressure in the warm up. If I only do 5 minutes with this girl, she'll still perform the same as this girl who needs 20 minutes. So as a coach, you got to know that. You got to know, and as an athlete, even with your school, you have to know what your break point is. You can't just say, I'm going to study 10 hours because my friends study 10 hours. No, what's the point? If your capacity is only 4, you're going to still do the same as you do in 10 hours. So you have to know that capacity. It's about, just like you said, we keep talking, but we don't know ourselves. We got to know what our limits
Yeah.
are. So you have to know how good is, what is important to you, because some people it's 2 hours, some people it's 4 hours. Everybody's different. Some people, most of them is the same. So that is really important in life. So whatever we do, we got to know what our limitations are and what our balance is. So coming back to this mental thing, which is really an important point. The other thing is
Yeah.
that everybody must have an out. It is important. Our kids, we don't even allow them to have that. Whether today it could be watching a movie, it could be going with your friends, going out for dinner, singing, dancing, playing a sport, whatever it like, you must do it because it's very important for your mind. You can't just keep on studying. Even when you're studying, go out one day for a walk. No, hi, he's going for a walk, he should be studying. No, he's going and playing tennis. Why is he playing tennis? Then he'll get tired, he won't be able to study. No, he needs that because that's his outlet. So we all need that throughout our lives. Everybody, we must know what out and what your out is could be different from mine. Some people like gardening, some people like cooking, some people like playing music, some people just want to watch TV, whatever they want to do. So you must find that. For me, it was playing game because I love sports. So I used to play squash. Whenever I was totally stressed, things were going wrong, I would go and play 30 minutes of squash, hit that ball as hard as you like, sweat, get totally tired, and I was absolutely fine after that. I was like, now I can take on the world. So it's in this mental strength, it's very important to find that balance.
Wow. So then again, so nowadays mentors, they don't focus on that. What is the capacity of each student? I mean, in school also, in
Exactly.
college also, we are given the same curriculum. Every student is different,
I
but
treat
we
it the
have the
same.
same portion. Yeah. So we have the same step and we compete for the same position. So how do that should be not there, right? So what do you want to say about that? That they should be removed,
Yeah, you
right?
can't you can't change the system completely. Like you and I sitting out here can't change the system, right? Should I continue or are you going to come? I'm a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bit
no, sir,
lost.
continue, continue. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So
Yes,
the
sir.
thing is
Go
that
ahead.
I don't know. We can't change the system. What you can do is change yourself. That's why I keep telling people. If anything goes wrong, you are in control of your own self, right? So you can change that. You can control that. That is really important. So what I tell people is, if you find that little balance, it's really, you got to spend family time, time with your friends,
Mhm.
time with your studies, time with sport, and time for doing something that you just love to do, whatever it is. You should have that time as well. Don't think that now the boards are coming, I'm not allowed to watch any movie, I cannot sleep late, I cannot do anything extra, because you'll fry your brain. So the
Yeah.
same thing like that in life. It's about keeping that balance. Now we cannot change the system, so we can change ourselves.
Yeah, but that requires a lot of self discipline, not to just think
Yes.
the way you are saying that you need to you to have a recreation point. Again, come back to studies. Go back to your happy zone. Again, come back. That requires a lot of
Yes.
self control also, sir.
Right.
Because we are involved in social media nowadays. We see pictures on Instagram. We get influenced by them, and there are thousands of influencers online who have not done anything in real life, but they'll just talk and influence people. So I think that we youngsters should get close to people like you who have achieved so much, and we all should read your book. Like that is
Yes.
for sure. Like all the young people, even I will read it. And so also, like I have few rapid fire questions for you that I'll ask, and you have to answer in one word. Okay.
Okay.
So just tell me
Do
a
I get a
word
hamper?
that describes
Do I
you.
get a hamper after that?
Yeah, we wish we could give you a virtual hamper, but that's not possible. Next
After
time we
like
would definitely have a virtual hamper.
a Karan Johar hamper, like coffee with Karan, you get a hamper after rapid fire.
But my questions would be sensible, sir, not like the
Okay.
questions like mine would be sensible. So, like the
Okay.
first question is one word that describes you the best, like one single word. You'll have to be very precise.
Um,
All the good adjectives, you have to choose one. So this much time you cannot take it. So rapid fire
Great.
round.
I would say the one word would be a dreamer.
Okay, a dreamer. And so your favorite corner to write, like your favorite spot in the house or anywhere that you love the most when you write, your favorite corner.
In my bed, on my bed.
Okay, on your bed. And so then again, sometimes when your life autography has already written, so if a movie is made out of it, who you want to play your character? If a movie is made on your book.
As one of the, I have to choose from the star, the heroes right now.
Yeah, I have to tell one star that would love to be your part in the movie that you would love to see on
Uh,
camera, on big screen. So this is
mm,
on record, huh? You cannot go back after this. You'll have to say it like very.
Saif
Yeah.
Ali Khan.
Okay, Saf. Okay, yeah, I get it now. The royal family connection and everything. Yeah, like very, very clever about it. Nice. And so mountains or the landscape, which is your favorite? Like you want landscapes or mountains? What is your favorite?
Mountains.
But sir, you are a player, right? You should have gone for landscapes because you play over there. But still
No,
mountains.
no, different. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And sir, novels or books? Which is your favorite? Book or your novels? Like, what do you prefer the most?
novels.
Novels. A notebook or a laptop? Which is your favorite? Because you are 90s kid, so do tell us. Laptop or a book?
uh, Laptop.
Okay, a laptop. So this was like 5 questions that we shooted on you, and you were quite quick. And sir, we really wish that someday a movie is made on you, and just like MS Dhoni had his autobiography movie done, even your story should be on the bigger picture wherein people can get really inspired. And sir, also like, are you planning to represent our country again in Olympics? Are you planning to do that?
No,
Like,
now,
are
now,
you?
now my goal is to hopefully help mentor somebody else to represent India, because that would be my next goal. I've done it. I've achieved it. I think now is the time to really give back and help as many people as I can to achieve their goals.
Okay. And when can we expect your next book? Like when can we expect the readers
I
can
don't know.
expect your next book? Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Okay, no idea. Like
Now I'm too busy now. In fact, the only thing, the pandemic actually worked to my advantage. So you got to look at it. Always look at the positive of everything. The lockdown happened. I couldn't do the things I want to do, and that's how this whole. You were sitting in one room, so I said, the perfect time to write the book.
wow. So you have like utilized everything. You don't believe in procrastination. You don't believe in self-sabotaging. You just
No,
believe in
never.
productivity.
Always. Now is
Yeah.
the moment for anything you do. I keep telling my students, do not wait, because you will never find the right time. There is never a right time. That is one thing for sure. There is never a right time, because when that time comes, you will always wait. No, I'll wait more. So there's no better time than now.
It's like you were born like you were born different from others. Like we love procrastinating. I mean, if we get assignment today, we will delay it for next week, and then it will be
Yes.
piled up. But in
Yes.
your case, you even utilized the lockdown and you wrote a book. So that's a
Yes.
great, great achievement, sir. And sir, also it's been already 43 minutes, and I
Yes.
can talk to you like for long, long hours. And but we have time
No, no.
limitation. We
Yes.
have time limitation. So thank you so much. And one last
No.
question that I have, like being an
Yes.
author, being an coach, or being an Olympian, any piece of wisdom and piece of advice that you would give, like serious advice to all the youngsters out there, like to me
No, my,
also, a
my
piece of
real
advice.
serious advice to all of them is, I just said, work hard. You cannot get away from
Yeah.
hard work. So nothing is comes on a silver platter. You may think it is. You think it's lucky. You think he has the right place. He had got the opportunity. It's not like that. It really is work ethic, work ethic, work ethic. And it's your attitude that's really, really important in life. It's how you deal with people, people will deal with you the same way. If you give, people will give, So I really believe it's attitude, work ethic. These are far more important qualities than just marks, than just grades. Even if you look at it, even the toppers in your class, they're not the most successful people. It doesn't work that way. Just because you stood first doesn't mean you get the best job. They're looking at the all-round holistic person who can be in a meeting, who can work as a team, who's punctual, who's polite, who helps others. These are the things that we have to really be important. So that will be my one message to everybody. Look outside just the norms of just the numbers.
Wow. So working hard should be the new normal. We should work hard.
Yes.
That is the thing, right? So, sir, thank you so much for your valuable time and for your valuable insights about your book about life. Actually, I got to learn so many things. I would try to inculcate in my life, and we are loving and we are looking forward for more such sessions with you. We would love to have many more sessions with you. So, sir, thank you so much. And like, how was your thing? Yes, sir.
No.
Sir, how was your feeling that you came on this live session? Like, what was your
wonderful? Thank you so much. I really enjoyed talking to you because I felt that you had enough energy as well, which is nice. So you also felt the same energy, that's what's important. It's important. What's the point of living life without having that little bit of energy, little bit of thing? Like, come on, let's get up and let's do something. Let's do something rather than saying, do we have to? So I absolutely loved it, and I hope your viewers love it as well. You can also follow me on Insta. It's just my handle is very simple. It's imtiaz.anis. That way, more people will get to know what I do, how I do things, and you see the beauty of this whole thing. It's not about fame, it's not about money. It doesn't work like that. Those things, if you're lucky, it happens. If you're not lucky, it doesn't matter. But at least you value added in life. You made a difference, and that's more important to me than anything else.
Thank you so much, sir. And thank you for this Insta info. I'm definitely going to follow you, and I'll forward this to all my friends, all the college group members, and they would follow you in chunks.
Okay.
We are going to have a lot of followers now added.
Very good.
So thank you so much, sir. And
thank you.
We, as a part of Ahmedabad Book Club, and Karma Foundation, we were honored to have you. So now I'll have to end the live session, and I hope I connect with you for many more sessions. So have a great night, sir, and thank you for connecting with us.
Thank you so much. Good night. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Good night, sir.